Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm going to show you how to deploy a React website via Netlify. I'm also going to show you how to set up your GitHub repo so that you can link your Netlify website to it. And I'm also going to show you how to handle the contact form inquiries that come through. So yeah, let's get straight into it. Okay, so first I'm going to run you through how to set up our GitHub repo, and we will pull that empty repo down to our local machine, and then all of our website files we need we'll put into that folder so we can push it back up to the GitHub repo. So let's get started. So first I want to create a new repository. I am going to call it the website's URL. So we'll just go with that. We want to make this private, obviously, because this is for my sister's wedding. I don't want people jumping in and messing with the code. I don't need to add a git ignore file because I've got one already that will not commit node modules, which, by the way, make sure you don't do that when you commit to GitHub. All right, so now we have our repo set up. Now, next, if you don't have GitHub desktop on your computer, I really recommend you get it. It is good to learn Git as well in the terminal, but I would really recommend also getting the GitHub desktop user interface because it is quite handy, especially for those who don't really know Git that well yet. So I'm going to go with that one for today. So I've got it here. Now what I want to do is go up here, go add, clone repository. We want to get our newly created repo, which will be here. And we want to make sure it's connected to, that folder. So let's clone in there. Now there's obviously not going to be anything in here, so don't worry. Then I'm going to open it in Finder. I've already got my website ready to go, by the way. So next I will find it. Give me 2 secs. All right, I believe it will be in here. Boom. All right, so this is from another repo, but I've recreated this video basically for you guys to see how I do it. All right, so just copy and pasting my website now. Okay, so now that we've put all those files into the directory, GitHub desktop will have picked up on it, and it'll show here that we've added a bunch of files, and see how my git ignore file is in there, so therefore it's not recognizing that we added all those node module files, which is good. That's what we want. Okay, next we want to go to Visual Studio Code. Then we want to open that location we were just in, so I cloned it to here. Alright, so we've definitely got it there. Now it's in there. Okay, next let us go back here to the GitHub desktop app. We're gonna do initial commit, so we're gonna commit to master. It's probably also good practice if you create another branch for your website when you're working on it, and then have your master for when you actually want to deploy it. That's just good practice. So we're pushing that now. Okay, so we've just committed our changes to GitHub. So what we want to do here is obviously fetch origin, just make sure we've got the latest copy on our computer that matches the one on the repo. If we go here, you can see all my files are there. So now what we want to do next is deploy this to Netlify. So basically you just want to go to netlify.com. We're going to log in. Now I've already got the site here. So what I'm going to do, just to show you guys how I do it, we're going to do basically if you go to new site from Git, you will see this screen, or in my case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually link my current one to the new repo just to show you exactly how it would work if you were doing this from a new site anyway, because it's the exact same process. So what we'll do here is we'll just link mine, but we'll pretend that we're creating a new one basically. So in continuous deployment, I'm going to click GitHub, and then it will, obviously authorize it. Okay, so now we want to find our repo that we created, which is here. Then, okay, we want to double check all our build commands and the build folder directory. We want to publish from the master branch, so nothing to change here. All right, so that's starting. So now I'm going to go into deploys, and basically this is doing its thing. This will take a minute, so I'll come back to you when that's done. Okay, so here says it's published fine, so I presume there's going to be no issues. So let's test it. We'll open this link in a new private window so we know it's 100% cached, and that is the site that I've built. So good start. At least I know how to code, right? Okay, now what I haven't done yet is added the form in. This is because I want to show you guys how the form needs to be set up in order for us to use Netlify's contact form handling situation. So let's try that out. So I'm just gonna bin that. Now we're gonna go back into VS Code. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's fetch origin, and let's just make sure. Actually, I'm gonna close VS Code too, because I think this is just good practice. Like, if you're really confident, you'll probably be fine, but just fetch and just make sure you have the latest version of your repository. Now you want to open it in Visual Studio Code so that you know for a fact that you've got the latest version. Now, so I'm in my modal component. This is where we're going to place our form. So let us go ahead and do that. So what we need to do is we need to go form, name is contact, action \success. The method is going to be a post method, and then next we're going to do an import type of hidden. We're going to do name, and then we're going to put form name, and the value will be contact. Now this you won't see this in the form, but you'll see where it comes in later. Then we want to go input type text, ID of name, and then we're going to do name, and we want a placeholder obviously, so let's put one in. We want to make sure it's required. We want to do another input, which is also going to be, sorry about that, what am I doing? People, that's right. So name is people, placeholder is number of people, and that is going to be required. Okay, now we probably need a submit button. So next I'm going to do button class send RSVP button. The type is going to be a submit. Sorry, I cannot type for shit. And we're going to do submit. Save that. Alright. It's freaking out about something. Okay, there we go. It's decided it's all good. Now, because this is React, Netlify won't actually recognize this alone. So what we also have to do is go into our index file, which will be under public. And what I've done is I've left a little gap here for where we need to put this code as well. So let's do below code must be hidden for Netlify form handling. Don't have to put this in, but good practice to comment your code. Form name, it's basically going to be very similar to this form. We're just going to cut a few things out of it. So you know what, let's do that. Save a lot of time. So it's going to be that. What we don't need though, however, is we don't need pretty much that. What we do need to add though, this is where it starts to make sense, sorta. Netlify data equals true. And then we want to next add, we don't need that anymore. We don't need the button. And the input types are now going to be hidden. And I think we just need these. So get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay, so it should look something like this now. So we'll save that. Now what we'll do is just make sure we don't have any issues with our code. What I might do is run it on my local first, just to be sure. Let's see. Now obviously we can't submit the form because it's not going to work because it's not deployed to Netlify, but we just want to make sure that what I've put in just now is not going to crash it. Okay, so that's looking good. Okay, we have a form, that's good. Yes, I did have CSS in there already for all this. Okay, cool, good start. Next, I'm going to terminate that. Then we're going to go back into GitHub desktop. All right, so it's recognized a bunch of changes. So this one we're going to call form setup, and description can be setting up the forms for Netlify form handling. Commit that, and then we're going to push origin. It's doing its thing. Okay, hang on. Yes, I'm hanging on. All right, cool. Fetch, make sure nothing's hiding there. All right, cool. Then we're going to go back to Netlify, and it should actually have already, yes, there we go. So I'll explain this quickly while it's building. With the GitHub repo linked to Netlify, every time you publish your changes to the GitHub repo, there's a build hook sent to Netlify, which will then trigger a build for the Netlify site, which is pretty cool. So basically your changes will be automatically updated each time you push back to the GitHub repo. So I'll come back to you once that is built. Okay, so no issues being published. Awesome. All right, now let's go to the site, make sure it looks exactly like what we expect it to look like. Those flowers are actually SVGs, but God, they're just, I got to do something about that. They're still loading. The loading time's quite long. So yay, our form is there. Awesome. Now I'm going to try and submit it, see what happens. So I'm going to invite 500 people. Sorry, sister. But look, it's submitted, and we've got success, which is what we put as the action in our form. So things are looking good, right? So now here's the cool part. We go back into Netlify, go to forms. A few seconds ago, oh, what do you know? We received a contact form inquiry with 500 people. There you go. So what you can also do, and I'm pretty sure I've already set this up, but obviously we have it in Netlify, but we want to be let known by email whenever we receive a contact form inquiry, right? So we go down here, go to forms, and I've got both my email and my sister's email already in there set. But if you wanted to add one yourself for your site, you just go email notification, your contact form. So new form submission, your target form is obviously contact. Well, in my case, it's contact. It'll be whatever you call it in your case. And then you put email in, hit save, and you're done. So that is pretty much it, guys. If you like this video, awesome. Give us a like. A subscribe would be really nice, but no pressure. This is my first video, so yes, it was probably pretty shit compared to a lot of the other ones that are out there, but I'm hoping to do a lot more of these, and obviously I hope that they will get better over time. And I will do some other cool little snippets like this that might be really handy to people. I am also starting a build series on Gatsby WordPress, where basically we take a Gatsby website and we set up WordPress as a headless CMS with it. So stick around for that one, because that's coming really soon. And yeah, thanks again, guys. Cheers.